అధ్యక్ష, ఇప్పటివరకు కూడా రాష్ట్రంలో ఉన్నటువంటి కరోనా వైరస్ స్థితిగతులపై చాలా వివరంగా విపులంగా చర్చించడం జరిగింది అధ్యక్ష. ఇటువంటి పరిస్థితుల్లో రానున్నటువంటి రోజుల్లో ఇంకా అత్యంత జాగ్రత్తలు తీసుకోవాల్సినటువంటి సమయం ఉంది. ఇటువంటి పరిస్థితుల్లో ప్రజలందరూ కూడా రానున్నటువంటి రోజులు ఏ విధంగా ఉంటాయి అన్న విషయంలో కేంద్ర ప్రభుత్వం ద్వారా కానీ ఇతరత్ర మనం చూసేటువంటి ఇతర రాష్ట్రాల్లోనూ ఇతర దేశాల్లోనూ మనం చూసేటువంటి పరిస్థితిని బట్టి ఇంకా ఇప్పటివరకు ఎంత జాగ్రత్తగా అయితే నివారణ కార్యక్రమాలు అమలు చేశామో, ప్రజలు సైతం ఎంత జాగ్రత్తగా అయితే ఇప్పటివరకు ఉంటూ ఉన్నారో ప్రభుత్వం తీసుకునే కార్యక్రమాలకు సంబంధించి వారు కూడా భాగస్వాములు అవుతున్నారు. భవిష్యత్తులో కూడా ఆ కార్యక్రమాలను కొనసాగించవలసినటువంటి అవసరం ఎంతనా ఉందని నిపుణులతో సైతం చెప్తూ ఉన్నారు. ఇటువంటి పరిస్థితుల్లో మీ అనుమతి రెజల్యూషన్ సభ ముందుకు తీసుకొస్తున్నాను అధ్యక్ష. The attention of the House is to be drawn to the entire continuing efforts of the state machinery in the dealing with the Covid19 pandemic. The state continues to grapple with the various alarms and warning signals regarding the relapse and imminent second wave of the same. Experts and media reports suggest that Delhi, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Karnataka, Assam are already bracing themselves to deal with this possibility. There is also an advisor of the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, GOI, not to let down the guard and continue the preventive and mitigating measures. The courts have also been concerned about the possibility of the second wave and have been calling upon the state to apprise about the measures taken regarding the situation. The undeniable fact is that an efficacious vaccine is still some time away. The House nevertheless stands in unanimous applause of the sacrifices of countless faceless warriors drawn from medical and health department, sanitation workers, police, district officials and various volunteers. Any number of words fail the emotions that comes to mind regarding the last battling COVID-19, and the frontline warriors deserve our salute. As the House is aware, the fundamental bulwark against COVID-19 is social distancing and avoid of crowding. The state and the public representatives have restrained from mass public interaction unless absolutely warranted. The legislative acknowledgement is needed of the fact that the best medicines are found inadequate to prevent the fatalities of individuals with comorbidities and the advanced age. So far, we lost 7,014 lives in the state. In this scenario, the continues to be imperative to avoid any activity that requires mass contact or congregation of people at a place. The possibility of elections has created a scare among employees of various state departments and parastatals. Schools and colleges are still not fully functional, and concern for health and awareness for self-help considerably increased. The state is obligated to ensure the health of its citizens and at the very minimum not to initiate any activity which compromise their life and health. The state machinery has therefore communicated that it would be imprudent to schedule any elections at this time. This resolution has in context the decision of the State Election Commission to schedule the elections in February 2021. While mutual deference to each other is important among constitutional institutions, what is of equal importance is that decisions concerning public welfare are not to be in haste of personal rancor. The elected government cannot be seen as competitor to functioning of SEC, especially when it is a joint responsibility of both entities to conduct the elections. The notification of the elections by the SEC in disregard of the contemporary situation would have a deleterious effect on the conduct of the elections. The turnout of the voters and most importantly endanger the health of the public at large and put many lives at risk. In fact, in Telangana section 1976 of the PR Act mandates that the schedule and the date to the PR elections shall be decided by the SEC in concurrence with the state government. The AP PR Act does not have such a provision. In the state, an unseemly situation has arisen where the unilateralism of the SEC has been noticed even by the Supreme Court of India, which directed that further decisions after the initial postponement of the PRA election shall be in consultation with the state. The perfunctory manner in which the concerns of the state have been brushed aside by the SEC are not the spirit with the framework of Constitution and the statute. The legislature opinions that the conduct of elections before the availability of efficacious mass vaccine and before the threat of the Covid19, what is said, would be injurious of public health and safety. The concern for public health cannot be a subject matter of competitive assessment of nation, etc. And the state's bona fide opinion on such matter ought not to have been brushed aside. It is also to be stated that no two states are comparable with regard to the factual situation of the pandemic and its effect. The incidence of Covid-19, which is revealed in view of the intensive testing, 8 times more than Bihar and 6 times of Rajasthan. Local body selection and the legitimacy of the elected members is directly related to the voters' choice. If the voters do not turn out to exercise their franchise to choose their representatives out of fear of COVID and danger to their lives, it deprives them of their fundamental right to vote, which is the very foundation of a true democracy and may result in an elected body not being true representative of the people. Therefore, the spirit of the consultative process is breached and appropriate legislative interventions may be needed. In due course of time, and government should take suitable action in this regard. The decisions regarding the same could be arrived in the effective and respectful consultation between the government and the constitutional authorities on further proceeding of Covid-19. Any hasty conduct of elections may distract the warriors from dealing with the pandemic. The staff required are about 5 lakhs and most of them have been representing to not to participate to the situation by conduct of the elections in their near future. While the Assembly recognizes with respect the independence of the constitutional bodies specifically conferred with powers, it notes that unilateral decisions without considering bona fide concerns of elected government would be consistent with the constitutional scheme. Considering the above circumstances, the Legislative Assembly unanimously resolves that the present situation in the state is not conducive for the conduct of elections in February 2021 and further resolves that the suitable legal provisions be incorporated in the APPR Act 1994 and consequent rules to handle such situations.